Okay, very short flight here. I've been wanting for a little while to see how everything looks configured for night ops, and that's what we're doing. So I'll be curious to see how things look. And this is just going to be a quick simulated flight from Brandywine Airport, Brandywine Regional, which is where I used to do flight training outside of Philadelphia, down to Newcastle, staying at 2,500 feet because of the Bravo airspace. And no air traffic or control anything, we're just going to see how things look. So, oops, I can hear myself on the L Streamo. Turn that down. So we'll just give this a quick try and see how some of these things work. Turn on the strobes. That looks cool. Let's look out the side window. Strobes off. Nav lights on. Oh yeah. Alright, cool. Fuel pump on. Mixture. And we're up and running. We can turn on our taxi light. Then I also rigged a switch to turn the panel lighting down when you're running the Cirrus. It turns down. There we go. Oops. Well, that's down all the way, isn't it? I can't even read that. Let's see if there's a middle position. Something readable, but not too bright. What is it, KILG? I can't read the, oh, I need to turn on the GCU. That would help. There we go. Give that a second to wake up. I noticed the other day that it was actually pulling up weather. Yeah, look. It's got the weather there for what we're reading. Altimeter 3014. We'll listen to the ATIS and see if it agrees with that real quick. Then I'll look at the stream and see what's going on. 121.4. That wasn't originally in the last version of this airport, but I added it recently, and we'll see if it's working.
Sky clear. Temperature 22. Yep. Dew point 18. Altimeter 3014.
Yep, agrees. Cool. So the FMD, or the FMD, Jesus, it's late. The
automated weather observation, Brandywine.
G1000 is pulling in the correct altimeter, which is cool.
Visibility more than 10 miles. Sky clear. Temperature 22. Dew point 18. Altimeter 3014.
Okay, cool. We'll just get the wind one more time.
Automated weather observation, Brandywine. Wind 190 degrees 4 knots. Visibility more than 10 miles. Sky clear. Temperature 22. Dew point 18. Altimeter 3014.
So we'll take off on 09
weather observation,
or 27. It is late. Plug ourselves for 2,500 feet altitude.
10 miles. Sky clear. Temperature 22. Dew point
270 is our runway heading.
014.
Okay. See what's going on. The chat. Nothing as of yet. Okay, so we'll just see how this looks. And where are we here? We need to turn around and taxi that away. They went, oops, camera bump. Sorry about that, guys. They went that way. Been thinking about getting new rudder pedals. Anybody has any killer recommendations? I'd love to have them. We've had the moonrise. I don't have the screens pitch black because I want a certain brightness to show up when we're filming during the daytime, but I don't think that looks too bad. I could always go in here and turn down the alpha real fast. For the gamma. The alpha, the gamma. I'm really struggling here. Yeah, it looks better. Yeah. Gamma to 0. Sorry about that. It was time for me to say goodnight to my son. I don't think you guys heard that, but if you did, it's okay. You should want to say goodnight to your son. Even better when he comes downstairs to say goodnight to you. Where are we going? This away. Yeah, so that looks pretty good. Brandywine Regional is where I started my flight training. And I just redid this scenery. You can download it. I put it into the .org. And I've submitted it to the gateway. I need to make a few changes before it gets accepted, but it'll get accepted. Let's check for traffic. I don't see anybody coming. Alright, we did down. Brandywine traffic search 15 Cessna 15 Julie Golf 227 to the west, Brandywine. Landing lights. Flaps. That landing light looks pretty cool. Those lights look pretty cool over there. I don't know what that giant bright light is that's over there. Is that my, supposed to be my, oh, got some huge bright light out the right window. Need an unrealistic amount of right rudder. Going up to VX. We're basically flying VFR now, or IFR, one of the FRs. 252 zooming by. I think I might be able to dim these even a little bit more. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, so I've got some very bright lights out this window, which I think, because I've moved the ACF file of the airplane around a little bit to make so some objects don't show. I think it's probably one of those lights. Makes it a little hard to see. Take off our landing lights and our taxi light. We'll go direct. There's route 252, which we could really follow directly south. I think that's what it was, 202, 252, 202. And only 13 minutes en route. Won't take very long to get there. Flaps coming up. Didn't really follow a checklist tonight. Lights look good. Let me get my trim set the way I want it set. There we go. These screens are a little too bright, I think. I think the backlight's just a little too high. Doesn't really affect the stream. In fact, for the stream, I probably want them to be brighter so that the camera can pick it up. But I'll be interested to see what it looks like when I have a chance to look later. Hello, Brian. Thanks for joining in. Oh, that's dark, isn't it? That's really dark. Really can't see. Well, again, I've also probably got my settings way down on my phone. Let's see how bright that is. Sorry, making you look out the side view. Don't want to fly into that part of the Delta, or the Bravo. We'll be in trouble. Come back this way. That looks pretty good out the side. Looks like nighttime. The one thing that X-Plane does that bugs me and everybody is it tends to load objects such that things pop into the view from the distance. Might adjust the setting just a little bit. Let's see. See how that looks on the stream here in a second. Once again, we're wandering. I can see the airport in the distance. It's right there. Yeah, that's brighter. That's a little too bright though, don't you think? That's not a bad compromise where it is right there. Not so pitch black that you can't see what's going on. We'll keep it like that and see how that works. Got live traffic running. Looking for traffic. See, you just saw that scenery pop into the distance. And it's just been a persistent problem, but it makes looking at this stuff very unrealistic. We've got traffic. It's way above us. We'll just do a landing and then be on our way for the evening. What's our weather at Newcastle? 123.95.
Newcastle information Victor 05 Zulu. Arriving runway 270114. Departing runway 270114. Wind 160
All right, 27.
knots. Visibility more than 10 miles.
It's Stoward Airport. They would just put us into a right downwind for 27. So that's what we'll do.
On initial contact, you have information Victor. Newcastle information Victor 05 Zulu. Arriving runway 270114. Departing runway 270114.
Okay, you can see the airport right there.
0 degrees 5 knots. Visibility more than 10 miles.
I think it's a
Sky
little
clear.
too bright.
Temperature 22. Dew point 20. Altimeter 3010. Advise on initial contact. You have information Victor.
One thing is, it's dark at night.
Newcastle information Victor.
If you've ever flown at
05
night,
Zulu.
there's some
Arriving
traffic coming in.
runway 270114. Departing runway 270114. Wind
We busted the Bravo.
10 degrees
Let's be
5
honest,
knots.
we're not taking this very
Visibility more
seriously.
than 10 miles. Sky clear. Temperature 22.
But we should get down to 2,500 feet, which is where we should be. Besides, we're setting up here.
You have information Victor.
And altitude at Newcastle is probably like 10 feet. 80. Okay.
Newcastle information Victor 05 Zulu. Arriving runway 270114.
I love the way X-Plane looks at night.
27.
It really looks great. Where the traffic works, the occasional police car zipping by. It really looks good. It looks like nighttime. Okay, landing light on. I also can't really know how this looks until I put it on a big screen. Hey, father, son. Yeah, I just wanted to see how this looks at night. You know, I've got the cameras and the screen's really rigged up for daytime. This light over here, I have no idea what this thing is. This random huge, there's two of them. There's one at the bottom, there's one at the top. And they don't seem, it's not my strobes, not landing lights, it's not taxi light, it's just a random light. So I don't know what that's about. Okay, we're coming in to Newcastle, down to 1,800 feet. We want to go down to about 1,000, and then we'll set up for our downwind. We are on the glide slope for that runway though, if we wanted to land on 19er. They've got traffic landing on 19er. I can see on the traffic display. They're still coming down. Always a little tricky seeing runways at night. In earlier versions of X-Plane, that's cool, there's a train going by, right where the Acela would be. In earlier versions of X-Plane, you could see runways in airports from 1,000,000 miles away. No matter what angle you were looking at them, it was really sort of unrealistic. It's a lot more realistic now. Okay. Coming down to 1,100 feet is our pattern altitude. Can't really see the horizon. Usually they say get on the base by the time you get to the highway, which we're coming up to. Well, on the downwind. You can't really see your cross runway very well. We do have traffic floating around down there though. We're at 90 knots, which is good. I can sort of see the cross runway. Highway looks really cool. It's in as smooth as silk tonight. Alright, we'll turn on to our downwind leg. Give you a view out the side as we do. And you're basically flying like you're we've got the moon up. Beam the numbers, first notch flaps. Get retrimmed. There we go. Flying downhill. Alright, start turning base. That looks cool. Take a look out the window at our airport. Turn on the final. Full flaps. Oh, we turned a little early. Square it off here and take our time. We're a little high. Yeah, those bright lights are distracting. Here we come. Don't want to be low at night. Black hole. An 8-knot crosswind here. All right. Taxi light on. Landing light off. Just taxi over here. And then we'll taxi over here. Nice having green centerline taxi lights. We'll go down here and see what this police activity is about. Okay, well that was cool, that was fun. Interested to see how that looks. We crossing our runway? We are. We just crossed our runway. No wigwags. Yeah, so police activity down here. Gosh, wonder what happened. So, probably the last stream for a couple days. Maybe this weekend will be the next one. But I just wanted to do a quick 30 minutes and see how things looked. And I think they look pretty good. Be cool to see how it looks online. I've got the daytime settings dialed in the way I want them. No idea where I'm going. Guess I'm going over to this giant hangar. It's like there's an airplane down here. I think we found the Air National Guard base. Yeah. Or something. I don't know. We'll go in here, shut things down. A very large, empty hangar. Gotta have a place to park the jalopy. All right, there we go. Okay, cool. Well, thanks for being my test pilots, having a chance to see how that looks. I guess my test observers. I'll look at that on the line later. Have a chance to see if the exposure settings look good on the stream. Looks pretty good there. And see if I need to make any adjustments. But so far, so good. So thanks for watching, and we will see you on the next stream. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.